San Francisco McDonald's closes. Guess why? We all know why. We all know why it's closing. It's because of the minimum wage hike. Everyone predicted it. Everyone knew that this was going to happen. Businesses were going to close. Everyone knew it except for Californians. Everyone knew this. I don't understand. This is what happened when you regulate too much. You regulate people and businesses out of existence. And this is what the Democrat Party does. They regulate you out of existence. Instead of letting the free market decide things like wages and stuff like that, they want to be able to dictate it and end up hurting people and businesses. I mean, it has the exact opposite effect of what they were said they were trying to do when it comes to minimum wage and stuff. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. Has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. All right, so let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from Hot Air's Jazz Shaw, and they report that in San Francisco's Stone Town Galleria Mall, a McDonald's franchise has been serving up the usual assortment of burgers and fries to shoppers for more than 30 years. The restaurant also created countless entry-level jobs for teens and young people, which is what jobs like this is intended for. These are our entry-level jobs. You shouldn't be getting paid a tons of money to flip burgers. I mean, anyone with any type of critical thinking would be aware of this. But that all came crashing to a halt this weekend when the shop abruptly closed its doors and ceased operations. You might be tempted to suspect that this was caused by the soaring crime rates and migrant issues plaguing the city, and there have certainly been plenty of those issues to contend with. But Scott Roderick, the franchise owner, told reporters that the final nail in the coffin was the state's move to jack up minimum wage to $20 per hour for fast food workers this year. Combined with other rising costs, he said that finally pushed them over the edge. He called the decision gut-wrenching. In the New York Post reported, a long-time San Francisco McDonald's has become the latest casualty to California's new $20 minimum wage, according to reports. The McDonald's at Stonetown Galleria Shopping Mall, located about 8 miles southwest of downtown San Francisco, was permanently shuttered Sunday after more than 30 years serving the area. Quote, "This is the gut-wrenching day for my family," franchise owner Rick Scott said, according to ABC7. In addition to the higher minimum wage, the mall had recently increased Roderick's rent and imposed a new tenant fee. Property taxes have also increased sharply. All of this combined to make the location the most expensive restaurant in the chain that operates. So, just everything went up, and it costs more to operate as far as purchasing the food. It costs more, and so they raising taxes, they raising everything, and now you got to come out the pocket and pay people more pay people more money. How can anyone operate like that? How can you make money as a business like that? So of course he had to shut the doors, but he had already been forced to increase his prices to the point where people were less willing to eat there. It was all just too much. This is only one of many similar sad stories unfolding across California. The driving factors all share one thing in common, however. The increased crime, the migrant encampments, the higher taxes, and the fees associated with enhanced private security resources were all driven by the state's liberal policies. I say this time and time again when it comes to places like California, cities like Chicago, places like that. These people voted for these policies. You voted for these people. So I'm really not too empathetic to y'all. I'm going to be honest with you, because you continue to vote this way and turn a beautiful state into a hellhole. That's on y'all. But it has been growing increasingly dangerous to operate a small business in San Francisco, and you can only increase someone's taxes so far before you cause them to flee. Small businesses are shutting down and taking their jobs they created with them. Gavin Newsom is reaping the fruits of his failed policies, and that's what I was just alluding to. And mind you, this is the same Gavin Newsom, the Democrat darling that Democrats continue to cape over and fawn over and say like he's a great guy and they actually want him to run for president. Look what he's done to California. Why would we want him as president? It wasn't just this one McDonald's franchise turning out the lights this month, and Arby's roast beef that operated on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood for 55 years. That's longer than I've been on this earth. It closed a couple of weeks ago. No one can survive in California. Taco chain Rubio's Coastal Grill closed dozens of outlets across the state this month before filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Foster's Freeze in Fresno also closed this month, similarly blaming the new minimum wage law as the primary driving factor. And then you have leftists say, well, businesses are going to close and new businesses are going to open and stuff like that. Yeah, but not at this rate. They are causing the problems. And then these businesses are specifically telling you what is causing them to shut down. The crime, minimum wage, the cost of everything, the taxes. They're literally telling you why they're shutting the doors, but the leftists turn a blind eye to all that and say, but no, $20 minimum wage is the way to go. They continue to stay. Matter of fact, they're starting to say $25 and $30 now. They want to raise it even more, which is just crazy to me. I mean, these people have no intelligence. It's not as if they didn't realize this was coming. These closures were predicted the moment the new law was announced. Again, everyone except for people in California knew this was going to happen. The law never made any sense to begin with. What is so special about working in a fast food business that merits a 20% higher minimum wage than other unskilled labor jobs? Newsom's administration declared it was a living wage that people deserve, but rather than bringing home more money, the workers at all these businesses are now unemployed. Again, has the exact opposite effect of what they say they intend to do. And they are still living in an area with a disastrously high cost of living. So how is the law working out for them? The state doesn't seem interested in changing course. So a lot of these workers should probably figure out a way to escape to a more sane state if they have the wherewithal to do so. And I agree. But don't come in voting the same policies and same people in that you did in the state that you're running from. Don't do that, because we're going to end up with the same in that same place that you moved to. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.